Throughout history, myths and legends have captivated human imagination, and one of the most enduring is the tale of Atlantis, a mighty city swallowed by the sea. First described by the Greek philosopher Plato in 360 BCE, Atlantis has been the subject of countless theories, speculation, and explorations. But could a real city, one that faced a similar fate, have existed? Beyond the realm of myth, there are archaeological and historical cases of cities lost to rising waters and natural disasters, cities that give credence to the possibility of a real-life Atlantis. Plato's Atlantis. Myth or historical event? The origin of the Atlantis story comes from two of Plato's works, Timaeus and Critias. According to Plato, Atlantis was a powerful and technologically advanced civilization that existed about 9,000 years before his time. Situated beyond the Pillars of Hercules, now known as the Strait of Gibraltar, Atlantis was a utopia of wealth and knowledge, with impressive architecture and sprawling cities. But according to the philosopher, Atlantis's people became morally corrupt, prompting the gods to punish them. In a single day and night of misfortune, Atlantis was engulfed by the sea. While Plato's account has been widely debated as allegorical or metaphorical, representing the dangers of hubris and moral decline, many explorers and scholars have pondered whether it could have been inspired by a real event or place. Archaeologists and oceanographers have long sought to find Atlantis, yet no definitive evidence has been found. However, several real-life lost cities throughout history share striking similarities with Atlantis. Sophisticated societies that were tragically consumed by the ocean, revealing that the concept of Atlantis might not be as far-fetched as it seems. The lost city of Heracleion, Egypt's sunken marvel. One of the most fascinating examples of a lost city swallowed by the sea is Heracleion, an ancient Egyptian city located near the mouth of the Nile. Once a bustling port city, Heracleion, also known as Thonis, was a crucial hub for trade and commerce. It stood for centuries before being mysteriously abandoned and later forgotten. It wasn't until the early 2000s, after years of searching, that marine archaeologist Frank Gaudio and his team finally discovered the remains of Heracleion beneath the Mediterranean Sea. Sunken for over 1,200 years, the city was found submerged off the coast of Alexandria, preserved in astonishing detail. Artifacts such as grand statues, inscriptions, coins, and even entire temples were recovered, revealing that Heracleion was a thriving metropolis before it disappeared underwater. Scholars believe that a combination of rising sea levels, liquefaction, a process where soil loses its solidity due to an earthquake, and possible subsidence caused the city to sink. Heracleion's fate offers a real-life parallel to Atlantis, a powerful city lost to the ocean's depths. Pavlopetri, the oldest sunken city in the world. Another potential real-life Atlantis is the submerged city of Pavlopetri, off the coast of southern Greece. Discovered in 1967, Pavlopetri dates back to around 3000 BCE, making it one of the oldest submerged cities known to mankind. Situated underwater just a few meters beneath the surface, the ruins are remarkably well preserved, with clear evidence of streets, houses, temples, and tombs. Pavlopetri was likely a thriving port and trading center during its peak. Its proximity to the sea, combined with its architectural sophistication, aligns with many descriptions of Atlantis as a prosperous, seafaring civilization. However, a series of natural disasters, including earthquakes and rising sea levels, eventually submerged the city. Researchers have employed advanced techniques such as underwater surveying and 3D mapping to reconstruct what Pavlopetri might have looked like in its prime. The discovery of such an ancient and complex city beneath the sea has further fueled interest in the possibility that other lost civilizations like Atlantis may yet be found. The Minoan civilization and Santorini eruption. Another frequently mentioned candidate for the inspiration behind the Atlantis myth is the Minoan civilization, which flourished on the island of Crete and surrounding Aegean islands around 2000 BCE. The Minoans were an advanced society known for their art, architecture, and maritime prowess. One of the most catastrophic natural disasters in ancient history, the eruption of the Thera volcano, modern-day Santorini, around 1600 BCE, devastated the Minoan civilization. The massive explosion generated tsunamis that ravaged Crete and other nearby islands, destroying cities and killing countless people. The Thera eruption may have caused a partial collapse of the Minoan society, which eventually led to its decline. Some scholars argue that Plato's account of Atlantis could have been inspired by the downfall of the Minoans. The similarities are striking. A highly advanced society wiped out by natural disaster, with the remnants of its civilization lost beneath the sea. Santorini's submerged caldera and the ruins of Akrotiri, a Minoan city preserved under volcanic ash, lend credence to this theory. Other real-life Atlantis myths. The stories of Heracleion, Pavlopetri, and the Minoan civilization are not isolated incidents. Throughout history, several other cities and civilizations have faced similar fates, being swallowed by rising seas or natural calamities. For example, Doggerland. This submerged landmass connected Britain to mainland Europe during the Mesolithic era. Rising sea levels following the last ice age gradually flooded Doggerland, forcing its inhabitants to flee. Kuwait's submerged civilization. Off the coast of Kuwait lies the remnants of a Bronze Age settlement, submerged by rising sea levels over thousands of years. Archaeologists have uncovered the remains of homes and artifacts, revealing a once thriving society. Conclusion: the timeless allure of Atlantis. While the myth of Atlantis remains just that, a myth, its essence is rooted in the very real history of civilizations that have risen and fallen, often at the mercy of nature's wrath. The lost cities of Heracleion, Pavlopetri, and the Minoans remind us that ancient societies were not impervious to the forces of the earth. Though these cities were advanced, powerful, and prosperous, they were ultimately claimed by the seas, much like Plato's Atlantis. Whether Atlantis existed or not, the stories of these real-life lost cities serve as both warnings and fascinations, illustrating the delicate balance between human progress and the untamable power of nature.